Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? I hope you're all doing very, very well. And welcome to the Monday Magazine edition on the Kilt-Man channel. Monday the 13th of February. Yeah, 13th. It's not Valentine's Day just yet, is it? We're going to talk about Valentine's Day in a minute. Yeah, the magazine programme, it's just where we kick back and just shoot the shit. That's all we do. We talk about stuff that's happened, stuff that is happening, and stuff that may yet happen. So, at the start of a new week, and as we usher in what new delights and terrors it may have in store for us. So, let's kick off with why I haven't yet done the watch-along party for the fog. Fabulous KAB, Antonio Bay. Well, I was going to do it yesterday being the Sunday. Now, it didn't happen because, well, busy, and I took the dog out and we went from pub to pub. Did a walk as well. The dog did go for a proper walk, so she'd earned her alcohol at that stage. Cheers, y'all. And we went to the Cask, and I had 2 large whiskies. Then we went to the Telegraph. I had 2 more large whiskies, possibly 3 large whiskies. And then we went to the Sandridge, where I had definitely had 2 more large whiskies. And then we ended up going back to the Cask again, which was now even busier. More mates were in there, and loads of people making a fuss of the husky, and she's on her back like that, legs in the air, tickles aplenty. I was jealous, of course. I did the same thing, but I was ignored. And then we got back a little bit later than anticipated. And last night, of course, was the Superbowl. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs, which is my son's team. And my son, Luke, has been trying his damnedest to get me into the NFL. Not playing, obviously, just to watch it. And over the last few months, and I've kind of got into it. So he really thought, me and Dad are going to watch the Super Bowl. And he got his Mahomes shirt, who's the star quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. And he had his full-size NFL ball as well. And we're all excited, going to get pizzas in and all this. Well, I come home after all those whiskies with the dog, and I said, look, the best policy is I get some shut-eye now. You know where this is going, don't you? I'll go get some shut-eye, have a little nap, so I'll be able to get up in time for the big game, and we can enjoy that. Hey, sounds like a plan to you? I said, sounds like a plan, Dad. I'll get you up. He tried. Oh God, I hit the pit and I was zonked out. I slept all the way through. I have vague recollections of hearing screaming, shouting and hollering from downstairs in the wee small hours, but that's common for the Kilt Mansion. There's always screaming and hollering from the lower realms of the Kilt Mansion. We don't talk about that though. So I didn't rouse. I missed the whole bloody thing, and he went off to work this morning, and I don't think he's talking to me. Oh dear. But he should be in a good mood because they won. The Chiefs won. So, there you go. In other sporting news, Scotland in the Six Nations. They beat England last week, and then they beat Wales this weekend. Oh my God. And the next match is going to be, well, hang on, is it the next match? But they're going to be going against Ireland. And, oh my God, that is going to be one hell of a battle. Scotland has never fielded such a strong team in anything, let alone rugby. But this, attacking is fantastic, tactics are fantastic, the luck is on their side, their defensive line is incredibly good. My word, this could be our time. So, anyway, sporting news out the way. Oh, we've got the derby, Liverpool versus Everton tonight. Who cares? Both teams are irredeemably shit at the moment. Irredeemably shit. Liverpool, after being the best in the business, riding the crest of the waves, leading the league. Now then, God, it's a catastrophic fall from power. Unbelievable. It's upsetting to watch. So I might not bother watching it. I'll take the dog out again. Thing is, if you go to the pub, it's going to be on in the pub, so you can't miss out. The rugby is always on in the pub as well, so it's sporting around here, so you can't avoid it. Anyway, cheers, y'all. This is tea. So I'm going to do the fog watch along party today. When I finish this, I'm going to put the fog on and I'm going to watch that. Hopefully it'll go through unblocked, but we never can tell these days, can we? So fingers crossed on that. Now, in other news, let's get on to the missing people segment. Julian Sands is still missing. It's over 4 weeks now he's been missing for. In the Baldy Mountain, in the Baldy Bowl area on the San Gabriel mountain range, 40 miles north of LA, where he lives. The latest I've seen this morning is that it's still dangerous up there. The weather's still bad. There's still tons and tons of snow up there. So they expect to resume ground searches, hopefully soon, but they're doing intermittent air searches. And they're using that equipment that can find credit cards, electrical devices and all that sort of stuff. They're still using that, but there's still no sign of poor Julian Sands. And I think the Sheriff's Department has said, look, we have every confidence that we're going to find him, but the outcome may not be what you want. So he couldn't have survived as long as that. He just couldn't. I'm sorry to say, but even as experienced a hiker, an adventurer, an expeditionist as he is, he didn't have the rations for it. And living off the land, everything's hibernating because it's completely snowbound. I don't know. I really don't know. And of course, then there's Nikki Bully, 45-year-old mother of two, went missing over 2 weeks ago in Lancashire, alongside the River Wyre in St Michael's on Wyre. I've done a lot of videos on this, you guys know that, and there is more to talk about, but I'm saving that for another video. But roughly speaking, she's still missing. The police still think she's in the water, but they're broadening their search now at the behest of the family and friends of Nikki Bully. Now, in the previous video, I said, it's funny how people are coming out with stuff now. Oh, I saw this, the tatty red van, which suddenly materialised out of nowhere and then dematerialised again, and you haven't tracked that down. But that was in the area, looking suspicious. And I said, well, before long, you'll get reports of a one-armed man with a hook for a hand and an eye patch and acting suspiciously. Well, I wasn't far wrong, because over the weekend, the news has come out that there were 2 suspicious men seen in the area at the time that she went missing. 2 suspicious men, you say? Yes. Why suspicious? Well, the witness, who does not want to be named, has said that, yeah, at the same time that she went missing, I saw these 2 men with hoods on and they're trying to mask their faces. Monks, mad monks. And they had fishing rods with them. This witness then said they might just have been fishermen, normal fishermen, but why were they acting so weird and suspicious by trying to mask their faces and hide away? It is very definitely odd, but they could just be fishermen. So we're going to talk more about that in its own specific video. Right, what's next then? Spy balloons! What the hell is going on with these spy balloons? And are they all spy balloons? Now, I freely admit right now, I freely admit that I'm not up to speed on all this story. That first spy balloon, which was leisurely drifting over North America, which was finally shot down. I know about that one. I spoke about that one. There was the one that was in Mexico, or certainly Latin America, which was drifting across, again, another Chinese spy balloon. I'm not sure what happened to that. But then, I haven't been keeping up with the news on this, but I heard this morning that the US has shot down four unidentified flying objects. That's their terminology. So, at what point did these spy balloons become UFOs? There's a lot here that I've not noticed or read up on. But I'm gonna do some more checking on that, because you bring up the term UFOs, unidentified flying objects, and I'm like, what? It's happening. It's War of the Worlds, just with balloons. But this is very strange, isn't it? And what kind of silly tactic is that? If this is all Chinese sending them over, is it they're hiding in plain sight? What do they expect to achieve from this? And how come, you send them over, it's going to shoot it down. At what point is that going to escalate into something even more serious? One would presume it's going to. Already there's talks in the UK ahead that they're looking into increasing our security levels because of the threat of Chinese spy balloons. Spy balloons? It seems a very old-fashioned, almost Victorian way of spying, doesn't it? You know, Phileas Fogg around the world in 80 days, spying on every nuclear establishment along the way. I don't get it. I just don't get it. PEEVE of the week. Okay, right, yeah. Let me just have a swig of this. PEEVE of the week. Right, this is a little thing which pisses me off. Just something that you notice and you go, oh, it makes the hairs rise in the back of your neck. It gets you rankled. If it's on TV, you want to put your foot or your fist through the screen. You want to throttle the person in the commercial who's doing it, because tis once again commercials. But it stretches out from that. It bleeds out from just commercials, because I know people that do this as well. What is it? It's when people shrug and go, they go. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean? There's two adverts which spring to mind. It's both women that are in the advert and performing this horrible ritual. One is don't see it so much now, but it's advertising a car. I forgot what the car is, and it's some athlete, female athlete, who is bouncing down some like American city street, and she's doing impossible sort of pirouettes, 80 to 90 feet in the air. And at some point, she will land straight into a car and drive it. And as she's driving, they pull up at the lights. She just sort of looks at the camera and goes, "What does that mean? What does that mean?" Another advert is for Vinted. All your old clothes, sell your old clothes, make some moolah, declutter and sell it, because your tatty trash is someone else's natty attire. Sell it on Vinted. And it's a girl who sits there, she sells all this stuff, and it, on the phone, Vinted, sold, and then just turns to us and just goes, "What? What is that? What does that gesture actually mean?" It's all like, oh, so-and-so's got married again. And you go, like that. You roll your eyes. That's one thing. That's, incredulousness, disbelief, and kind of like, yeah, well, what do you expect? That's what she's like. I get that. But you couple that with when there's no sort of preamble beforehand explaining why you've done it. Just flipping through the air and landing in a car doesn't give you the reason to just go like that. What does that mean? I've just sold all my clothes. Wow. I don't get it. I honestly don't understand it at all, and it really, really drives me mad. You can probably tell. I'm playing John Carpenter's score for The Fog. This is all, and of course the Fog mug as well, just to keep myself in the mood for The Fog. Incidentally, back on the meteorological side of things, spy balloons, weather balloons, who knows? We know, spy balloons. It's going to be foggy tomorrow here, yeah, and the fog's going to stay for a bit. It's going to be cold overnight, and we're going to wake up to a fog and mist. I thought they were the same thing, but the weather girl said it's fog and mist. So that's going to be festooning the Kilted Realm tomorrow. Oh yes. Maybe I should postpone the watch along until tomorrow. But tomorrow is also Valentine's Day. Yeah. Now, so do you guys bother with Valentine's Day? Have you ever bothered with it? Do you care about it? Do you love it? I used to really love this. Me and Mrs. Kilt-Man used to really go to town on Valentine's Day. I started this. I didn't create Valentine's Day, but I started us being into it by when we were first going out. I would, well, let's just run through the list. I hung off the top of a building on a rope, totally illegally, and I'd asked permission and been refused it, but did it anyway, and hung outside her window and unfurled bat wings which said, Janet, I love you, like that across. But I was on this rope and I was swinging round and I was banging into the glass and all that, like. And the ventilation unit which I'd wrapped the rope around, I could hear that going, That could have pulled loose, and I'd gone down six flights. Ah dear. I'd have gone down quicker than a blown apart spy balloon. I also, in a different building, I lay siege to a building several times. Once as James Bond with the music playing, I put the ghetto blaster. Yes, that's how long ago it was. Playing doom 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 at the front of the building, so everyone ran to the front. I then threw firecrackers at the back windows, going off like gunshots. And I was dressed entirely in SAS black gear with a balaclava. And I managed to get through a window, get into an office, rip the balaclava off, unzip the combat jackets, have a tuxedo underneath. Then were the days. I did a full Royal Marine Commando assault on the building. Well, full with one Royal Marine Commando and a dog, our big German Shepherd at the time. And strapped to the back of my Bergen was a huge bouquet of flowers. I had all the camo face paints on, the green lid was on, everything was there. It was pretty special. However, the police did turn up. As I was applying my my camo paint in the bushes by the car park, and the building was just over there, and the dog was sitting patiently beside me, flashing blue lights, and I thought, oh shit. But then I thought, well, obviously someone's seen this. Despite all my efforts at camouflage, they've seen me. So I emerged from the bushes with one hand in the air and one hand holding the lead of the biggest, most prehistoric looking German Shepherd that ever existed. She was huge and ferocious, but adorable. And these two coppers, one was a big bearded sergeant, and he went to put his hands up like that, and I went, mate, look, this is a bouquet, not a bazooka. And he went, we're not here for you. We're not here for you, mate. I went, no, it's a Valentines Day stunt. He said, yeah, that's fine. I said, what are you doing it? Do you know what they were doing? There was a drilling ship coming down the River Mersey, and we're right on the banks of the River Mersey, by the way. That's Seacombe Ferry. That's my wife used to work just beyond Seacombe Ferry. And this drilling ship was coming down, and apparently it's pretty famous, and it's pretty big as well. And these two guys, these two coppers, were both massive fans of maritime vehicles and vessels. So and he didn't want to miss it, so he put the lights on, and I came hurtling down the roads to try and catch this drilling ship and photograph it. So I said to them, oh, listen lads, this would be great if I'm going to get over the fence. The dog's going to go under, I'm going over the fence, and I'm going to lay siege to the back of the building. It'd be great if you guys come in through the main entrance, come round, and just as I'm about to do the big bouquet leap through the window, you both put your hands on my shoulders and say, you're under arrest, sonny. And he went, no, mate, no. We're here for the drilling ship. What you do is your business. So it still went down a treat. I've also been Indiana Jones. What else have I been? The Indiana Jones one was good because this again was in a different part, same area but a different building. She moved around a fair bit, and I was going to come riding in. I was going to literally have riding lessons because I can't ride a horse. I've ridden horses a lot and I'm not good at it at all. They don't like me. Me and horses don't get along at all. So I never could have joined the 7th Cavalry. But I thought, again, this is the police. I actually asked the police, I said, I want to ride up into the foundry area where her office actually is, at the back of the foundry area. And with, again, that ghetto blaster playing, I had all the costume, I had the whip and everything. I was going to come riding in, get the horse to go, on its back legs. This had disaster written all over it. They said, no. Categorically, no. Their reason, and this is a quote, you cannot ride a horse in an industrial area. Is that strictly true? Didn't they use horses as well when they were pulling mine carts and stuff, like in industrial areas? Weren't horses involved in all this? No matter, because I couldn't do it. I had to go on foot instead. Still worked out a treat though. But weirdly, in the last sort of few years, well, since the kids have arrived, last few years, my daughter's going to be 16 next week. My lad's almost 22. It's been a while. It's just a card each, maybe get some flowers. And more often than not, she'll buy her own flowers. She bought flowers at the weekend, so I don't even need to buy flowers. But, it does fizzle, doesn't it? Despite your best efforts to keep the spark alive and keep the fire raging, passion, it's just too much else takes over, and it just seems, terrible to say it, but a sort of redundant gesture. I'll do something. even if it just means, let's just go to the pub and I'll get you a drink. Cheers, y'all. So what do you guys do? Do you actually still celebrate Valentine's Day? Do you bother? I mean, this is great for me because it's going to be a foggy day. Valentine's Day is going to begin with the fog rolling in, and we'll have the foghorn blaring across the sea. Oh, it's fantastic. And of course, around here, you hear that really well. You hear the ship's horns and all that, like, you know, when a sexy yacht goes past and the big ocean liner goes. On a similar sort of note, because I'm going to talk about the fog a lot and about the locations used in it, and I've always said I want to see out my days in Montana. I wanted to get a ranch in Montana. In all reality, I'm never going to be able to afford to get a ranch in Montana. Well, who knows? But I can't live inland for too long. I've got to be by the sea. I was born by the sea. I've always been by the sea. Done a lot of training in the water. I've trained on coastlines. The sea is a huge thing for me. If I remove that from my life, I don't think I could exist. I really don't. The proximity to a huge body of water. We've got the River Mersey. I'm right at the entrance to the River Mersey. That's where I am, the Kilted realm. And then you've got the Irish Sea, of course. So you get all the weather coming in. And you get the mist and the fog rolling in, and you hear the foghorn and the ship's horns. It's all part of it. The smell of the sea, you know, the old briny. Can't beat it. So going inland for more than, say, 2 weeks at a trot, and I'm like, oh, no, my gills start tightening up. My fins start getting a bit stiff. I need to get back out in the water. So I've always said that I love the location in the fog, and it's a place called Inverness, Point Reyes, Inverness, and it's called Inverness because it looks just like Inverness. It's the Highlands, it's the west coast of Scotland. It looks incredible. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It doesn't look very American. It looks very Scottish and sort of almost Cornish as well, with the cliffs and the wide open beaches, you know, and quite windy as well. And up top, you've got meadows. It's so beautiful, and it's exactly the setting that I would love to live in. I'd love to live in a lighthouse as well for a long time. Well, not a long time, but for a good year or so, maybe 18 months. Me and Mrs. Kilt-Man looked at moving into a lighthouse because at the time you could do it. You could do that, and we had 2 earmarked. Oh, I've discussed this before. I know I have, and well, in the end we didn't do it, obviously. But see, I might forego my ranch in Montana and go and get in a lighthouse on some jagged, pointy outcropping of cliff. You know, there's actually the lighthouse used in the Point Reyes lighthouse in the fog. It's not a big tall one. It's a squat little building, but it's perched on the side of the cliff, the cliff wall. So you have to go down. I think it's 160 steps in ferocious wind to get down to it. It's got the buildings, the lighthouse keepers buildings as well, and the interior of the lighthouse in the film is actually a film set, but the real lighthouse is there, and you see it extensively in the movie. And well, I've forgotten what it's called now, but there's one in North Wales, and wait there a second. Dad, what's that lighthouse we went to, Wales? South Stack Lighthouse in Anglesey, North Wales. It's very similar. You go down the steps and it's on an outcropping of rock on the side of a cliff face, and it's beautiful. And you've got that crystal, incredible vista of sea with the sun glinting on it, just going off to the horizon. Beautiful. Probably doesn't get the best Wi-Fi signal, but no, it probably does, thinking about it. Because all lighthouses now are it's all digital, it's all electronic. It's not just like you've got to clean, polish the lamp and all that. It's all done with electronics. So I've just put 2 flighters there, so I'm out of breath. So lighthouses and the fog. We're going to talk a lot more about that. Okay, the earworm for the week. Let's see now. It's not going to be the fog, don't worry. It's going to be... This is where we pick a bit of... Well, I say we pick. I pick a bit of music, which is from a film, mostly. And I'm going to play it, and it's going to stick in your head as a complete earworm. And it's going to be from Hammer's 1974 movie, Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter, with Horst Janssen playing ex-Imperial Guard Captain Kronos, who is now a sworn vampire hunter, you know? So, that's brilliant. It also stars Caroline Munro and Ian Hendry as well. It's a fantastic movie. It's written, directed and co-produced by Brian Clemens, who did The Avengers and all that. So it's a complete radical tonal departure in style for Hammer. And it didn't go down too well, but it's one of my favourite Hammer movies. In fact, it could actually be my favourite Hammer movie because it's funny, it's scary, there's loads of action in it, it's got a clever story and great characters, and it is unusual. It's full of set pieces, it's very a comic book. Fantastic film. Anyway, here's the main titles. It's music by Laurie Johnson. I have reviewed this movie a long time ago. So you've got this militaristic, sort of heraldic fanfare. And you've got the suspenseful drums. And this is the sort of galloping main theme for Kronos. Horst Janssen looks just like Bjorn Borg. Sadly, he's dubbed as well. The horns, it's great. It's not jaunty, it's very deliberate, it's very martial. He's coming into this village to sort out vampires, and the vampires in this particular movie don't drain blood, they drain the life force out of people. So young girls are captivated by this mysterious figure in a shroud, a bit like what we're seeing in St. Michael's on Wire, the 2 fishermen with the hoods. Isn't that beautiful, that? And they'll be entranced by this mysterious figure, and they'll be drawn into the cloak, and then within seconds they've been drained of blood. A beautiful young girl, and then they turn around afterwards and they're a haggard old witch, harridan, just completely desiccated, you know, and withered. But tons of sword fighting, samurai style as well. It's a wonderful movie. A bit of the high strings there as well, but this galloping motif, bassoons and oboe provide that deep menace there as well. You've also got the ever androgynous Shane Bryant, who you're suspicious of to begin with, but maybe he's not actually doing anything wrong at all. And that's quite a luxurious main title theme. That runs for 3 minutes 11 seconds. The forlorn trumpet fanfare. See, it's beautiful, isn't it? And it ends on this sort of like pensive, suspenseful element. And did I mention Caroline Munro? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Instantly, it's a must-have movie. I'm gonna play that again, because it's so damn good. So folks, we've run through the Super Bowl. Go Chiefs! We've gone through the Rugby, Six Nations, Scotland. Sadly, still Julian Sands and Nicky Bully. I'll be doing more, clearly, on those horrible stories. Spy balloons. Where can I get one? China. They're made in China. You get it? It says made in China. The PEEVE of the week. It's not even saying, like, I don't know. I thought you said your sister was coming out tonight. I like your sister. Is she still coming out? You can understand it then. It's like, I don't know. But then the other situation, it's so inappropriate and it means absolutely fuck all. Valentines Day. What stunts have you got up to? And by the way, I've done a lot more than what I listed there. A hell of a lot more. And we have the earworm, Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter. It's like a bullfrog sitting there, you know. Conductor's going, Lloyd Johnson's going, yeah. We have the trumpets, we have the rolling drums, timpani, right? Bullfrog. I didn't feel at all stupid sitting there doing that then. It's great, isn't it? It's heroic, but there's a charge to it. And this element of mysterioso. So, it's the start of the week. Hope you guys are going to have a good week. Hope you're going to enjoy the fog watch along party. If something else crops up and gets in the way of me doing this now, oh dear God. I'll just say it got lost in the fog. Folks, I have been always shall be Kilt-Man. Please, in the meantime, in this ever foggy in between time, please keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic. And I am going to see you all. Have a good week, you all. Watch your step, be careful. Don't go out in the fog.